How are you? Today, Saturday, about 7:30 in the morning, February the 8th, 2025. I'm starting a new series of videos. Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays, 23-year career. Actually, 22 years. They say 23 on Baseball Reference, but one of those years was in the Negro Leagues. In 1948, he got into 13 games. I'm not going to count that because his stats aren't in there. So I'm going to go 1951 through 1973, 22 years in the big leagues. 2,992 games, just short of 3,000. Boy, if I was him, I would have said, hey guys, I want 8 more games. I want 3,000 on the nose. Didn't do it. How about this, though? He had 10,477 at bats. That's 14th on the all-time list of most at bats. His career totals for runs scored: 2,062 runs scored. That means he was on base a lot. His total hits: 3,283. A member of the 3,000 hit club. And then his total homers: 660. That's number 6 all time. And then the RBIs: 1,903. An amazing career, right, Willie Mays? I picked up a book from the library. It's the Sporting Goods 100 Greatest Players Ever. I opened the book. First chapter, or number 1 on the list, is Babe Ruth. I agree with the Sporting Goods. Babe Ruth, the greatest baseball player of all time. You know who they have number 2, Sporting Goods? A list of historians and editors and a lot of influential people. They put Willie Mays number 2, greatest baseball player of all time. I have an issue with that. I'm going to devote a video to each season of Willie Mays' career. Let's see, by looking at the seasons and box scores in detail, is Willie Mays the second greatest baseball player of all time among 15,000? I have an issue with it, so Baseball Reference, you're going to have to convince me. So for the next 22 videos, let's look at each season in detail. He had a 302 career batting average. Where does that rank among best batting averages of all time? Sorry, Willie Mays is way down. I think he's number 100 or so as far as ranked on batting averages. Someone who has a 302 career batting average, is that the second greatest baseball player of all time? You have guys, 366, Ty Cobb, Rogers Hornsby, 358. Now, Cobb has over 4,000 hits. Hornsby, 400 batting seasons, 300 homers, 2,900 hits. So Mays has more hits than Hornsby, but Hornsby's batting average is 56 points higher than Mays. You have Lou Gehrig, .340 batting average, 493 homers, only 17-year career. You have guys like Tris Speaker, George Sisler. You got Ted Williams. You have Henry Aaron. I've looked at a lot of these guys. You know what is important to me? My opinion. It's batting average, career batting average. What is the goal of a baseball player at the plate? Get on base. Either it's a hit, single, double, triple, homer. Now, Mays has the homers, 660. Incredible. He has career hits, 3,283. But he also, in his career, struck out 1,526 times. That's way too many. He also is on base, 384 career. The standard is 400 or better. He has the 6,000 total bases because of the homers and the doubles. There are other players with better overall stats, and I can prove it by matching up Willie Mays with other players. And we can do a hypothetical. Let's say both of them play 3,000 games and both of them have 10,000 at bat. What was the ratio of runs scored per games? Ratio of hits per game played, ratio of RBIs per game played. Mays will win the home runs. He's number 6 all time on the all-time list. But other players, if you look across the board on their stats, outperformed Willie Mays as far as ratio. Now, as far as career totals, Mays beats him. But as far as overall ability to get on base, that's the goal, right, of a baseball player? The batting average. However you can get on base. Okay, walks, hits, singles, doubles, triple, homers, or fielder's choice, whatever, getting on base is the key. And the batting average is the measure of how many times you get on base. Right? I think that's the most important stat for a baseball player. The career batting average. Mays is listed. Let me go to Baseball Reference. Where does Willie Mays rank as far as batting average? All right, let's see. What we'll do is we'll go to career batting average leaders. Okay, career. I got it here, Baseball Reference. Number 1 on the list is a guy named Ty Cobb, 366. Boy, that must be a prestigious position to be in baseball history. Number 1 overall batting average of all time. You may argue, well, there's some Negro League players that have even higher career. You got to look more deeply. Ty Cobb played 24 years and had over 11,000 at-bats. That is the true measure. You get over 10,000 at-bats, I'll look at your career batting average and rank you. But the Negro Leagues, some of those guys just played 800 or 900 games. Maybe some played 1,000. Josh Gibson, I think there was 700 games recorded. You can't give me 3,000 or 4,000 at bats and say you bat better than 366. Sorry, I'm not going to accept that. They say his career batting average was 373, but look closely. How many games did he play and how many at bats? Come on, Ty Cobb is number 1 all time because of the games, 3,000 games. At 11,000 at bats, 366. All right, I was going to say, where does Willie Mays rank among career batting averages. I've got it right here. You want to hear where he is? I said 100 on the list. I was wrong. Willie Mays, I'm looking at it. Career batting average. According to Baseball Reference, he's ranked 197th all time. There's 196 guys ahead of him. I shouldn't say, yeah, there is. 196 guys on Baseball Reference have a better batting average career than Willie Mays. Now, you can say Mays played the 3,000 games. A lot of these guys ahead of him, many of them don't have 3,000 games. Still, the true measure of a man's production is his career batting average. Can you say that Willie Mays is the second greatest baseball player of all time, where he's ranked 197th in career batting average? I'm not gonna buy that. Now, I admire Willie Mays and his production: 3,000 hits, 600 homers, 1,900 RBIs. But the on base and the batting average. Also, Mays had the 6,000 total bases. I admire all those stats. Runs scored, 2,000. But the batting average and the on base is where there's a hiccup for me. And like I said, I wrote a book matching up Willie Mays with other great players. I'll show you that book in following videos. And I'll show you how he matched up with, for example, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Ty Cobb, George Sisler, Tris Speaker, Stan Musial, Ted Williams. Okay. So let's see if Baseball Reference can convince me, or the Sporting News can convince me, that Willie Mays is the second greatest baseball player of all time. Right now, to me, he's not. But I will rank him in the top 10. I don't know where to put him. After I'm done looking at all his seasons, I'll tell you what number I consider Mays to be as far as greatest baseball player of all time. You can't put him in the greatest hitter of all time. There are other guys who are more pure hitters, evidenced by the fact of their career batting average. All right, this video, the 1951 season for Willie Mays. He's a rookie, 20 years old. How did he do? 121 games, 464 at-bats as a 20-year-old. I read in some of the history books that when Willie Mays made his debut in the majors, he struggled outside the gate. I think he went 0 for 8. Then he finally got a double. He had a hard time get going. But once he did, his career took off. So in 1951, his rookie season, 464 at-bats, 59 runs scored, 127 hits in 121 games. That's good. It's a good ratio. A hit per game. 22 doubles, 5 triples. He hits 20 homers as a rookie. So he's got the power already. 68 RBIs, good. 7 stolen bases, 57 walks. Did strike out 60 times. That's a good ratio. Not that many strikeouts with 464 at-bats. So he's putting the ball in play. Bats 274. So, his first season, is he just a 274 hitter? 356 on base. 472 slugging. That's good. He's almost at 500. 500 is a measure of sluggers. That's what you want to do in a season. Slug 500. Yes, 472. 219 total bases. Good. Over 200 is rookie season. The measure there is 300 total bases. So I say in his rookie season, not really sensational, but there's an indication this guy is pretty good, 20 years old. All right, that's the first season of Willie Mays. I like the 20 homers. I like the 127 hits in 121 games. I like that. I don't like the 274 batting average, and the on base needs to be over 400. He's at 356. All right, we're going to look season by season for Willie Mays. Is he the second greatest baseball player of all time? I have an issue with that. Who do I think is number 2 all time? Well, I've already looked at Ty Cobb's career. According to his stats and metric and his output and his stats across the board and matching him up with Willie Mays, I consider Ty Cobb number 2 all time. Who's number 3 for me? Well, again, I wrote a book on baseball matchups. I got Lou Gehrig in the 3rd spot. And then number 4, all-time greatest baseball player of all time. Kind of debating right in there. I'm leaning toward Ted Williams. But you got some other guys. Tris Speaker. He was pretty good. He didn't have the home runs. That was his one flaw there. George Sisler was pretty good too. 257 hits in 1 year. Had a 400 batting season. He's in there. I got Ed Delonte. His production and his matching him up. The problem with him was he only had 1,800 games, but he got 2,600 hits. That's an average of 1.41 hits per game, and that was the highest ratio of hits per game played that I found of any baseball player, Ed Delonte. But is he in the top 5 greatest? If he had played longer. But his production was incredible. Got some other guys in there. Tony Gwynn, he didn't have the home runs, but he had the ratio of hits per game played. Rogers Hornsby's up in there. Of course, you got to look at Henry Aaron. Problem with Aaron, he's a 305 career batting average. Where do you rank him? He's got the most homers and most RBIs. He's got 3,700 career hits. You know who also should be up considered is Stan Musial's production. 3,600 hits, 331 career batting average. So as far as my top 10 ranking, I think I've done it many, many times in other videos. After I'm done with Willie Mays seasons, I'll do a top 10 from what I've done so far looking at baseball players, okay? But for now, we're going to focus on Willie Mays season by season. Okay? So next video, 1952 season. Talk to you later. I'm out.